can we date more than one person?
I would say no. But how would you feel if you're going out with a girl and then you find out that the girl is going out with another guy?
That is a problem.
That's what I'm saying. So once you make it a point that this is the person that I'm studying, then study that person. If it doesn't work, then go find somebody else. But don't keep too many people together. We need to be very careful these days because there are a lot of people who come into our lives with intentions that are not right or pure. And so
Viewers, welcome back. I know you still have a lot of questions that you would like to ask. And so I want to quickly go to Auntie Elsie and ask this question. Auntie Elsie, I want to ask you, can we date more than one person?
I would say no. I know some people would disagree with me. Okay. Um, I would say, what do you mean date? Like take more than one person seriously?
Dating is about knowing the person.
Not necessarily. So sometimes you have to define it.
Okay.
Let's say you have a group. Let's say I'm a lady and I have a group of male friends around. We are friendly with each other.
Okay.
But once you decide that I'm going to go out with you exclusively, then it should be exclusive.
Okay.
I don't think you should have more than one guy or more than one girl if you're dating. Some people would say, "Oh, we want to compare and see," but I don't think it's proper.
Okay.
Personally, I've experienced where a guy who said he was interested in me, and I thought he was interested in me,
Okay.
but then I found out that there was another lady on the line.
Okay. But don't you think that if you leave your options open, it helps you be able to come out of the issue of broken heart and all that?
But how would you feel if you're going out with a girl? Because if I decide that I'm dating somebody, then it means that it has to be like exclusive.
Okay.
But how would you feel if you're going out with a girl and then you find out that the girl is going out with another guy?
That is a problem.
That's what I'm saying. So once you make it a point that this is the person that I'm studying, then study that person. If it doesn't work, then go find somebody else. But don't keep too many people together. Like, you can study people at a distance.
Okay.
But once you say, "Yeah, I'm going to let's see what goes with this," then it has to be exclusive. How can you be studying somebody and then studying another person as well?
Okay.
So to me, somebody may have a different perspective, but to me, it's not right because I wouldn't like it and I didn't like it with my situation. I didn't like it when I found out that there was another lady there.
But under what circumstance do you think that people should want to make a commitment to be with someone?
So this is what we see people, right? Like all of us, we see people, we see guys, and then you're attracted to them. Like at the beginning, we were talking about who will be your ideal guy. Like even those of us who say the most important thing is that the person should be a Christian, like a good Christian, not as someone who just comes to church because they want a wife. You see people, and sometimes you become friends. When I was younger, I thought, no, if you are my friend, no, but that was a wrong perspective. You can become friends with people and not necessarily go out exclusively with them, right? But if you know you have a group of friends around you, you know you can actually be looking at the qualities they have. If you like one of them and then they approach you later on, or in this day and age, you don't even have to. You can. There's some ways of putting hints there for the guy to know. But I don't think it is right for you to be dating multiple people at the same time.
Okay. And I think I kind of agree with you. I mean, just because we want to be ethical and come up with honesty,
Yeah.
I think that's the ideal situation. But I want to know if there is someone who wants to be sure that this is a genuine person. I think we may have said it somewhere in the video, but I want us to go deep into it. Can you tell us how we can see and realize that this is a real and a genuine love, a love that can really land somebody's marriage situation? Like, I mean, how do we know that we are not falling in the hands of a guy or a lady who is just into have fun?
So it depends on several things. And sometimes people these days are very cunning too. So you have to be very careful.
Okay.
You need to listen because sometimes they speak and then you know.
Yeah.
I had somebody who said he he has no relationship with Christ. Like the relationship with Christ ended a long time ago. And the way he said it in our language told me right away that I need to move on. Sometimes you look at the way that, like I said at the beginning, the way the person relates to the opposite.
Okay.
So if it's a girl, the way the girl relates with the opposite sex,
Okay.
the way she speaks to them, the way she connects with them.
Okay.
If it is a guy, the same way. Sometimes little things would show up there. One of the things that I also liked about people, like if you know that they're going to be the people who have good intentions for you, is if they don't hide away from your family.
Oh.
They don't hide away from your family.
They want to go home.
They want to go home with you. Yeah. It means that because it is very difficult for them to come and then see your parents and then go and start treating you anyhow. That is why I would always admonish people, especially young ladies. You need to look at the guys. If they are reluctant to introduce you to family, then you know that they don't have that.
Maybe they are not just not ready yet to introduce.
No, it doesn't have to be introducing.
Okay.
They could, if they are not even ready. I remember the relationship that I had been in. My mom knew about it.
Okay.
My younger sibling knew about it because we are that close. Yeah. My dad didn't know about it. Yeah. Right. Why? Because I wasn't ready to take that step yet.
I mean, Prof always has a problem with me mentioning that. That you don't just take people to them. I mean, unless you are.
And that's what I'm saying. But at least it doesn't have to be mother and father, siblings. If you know how they relate to your siblings and all that, then it means that they care. But if there are people and they don't even want to introduce any of their family members to you, even if you're just girlfriend and boyfriend, wouldn't you know some of their family members?
Yeah.
If a guy is always keeping you away from
the family,
then you know that he's not ready.
No. Intentional keeping, or I mean, people. Maybe the woman hasn't asked, but if you have asked,
I don't have to ask.
Oh.
No, I don't have to ask. Like if your brother comes here and then you're in a relationship with a lady, and if you know that this is somebody that you're thinking of for like serious, you would want to introduce. You're not introducing them to your father. I always say my younger brother, every relationship that he had, I knew about it. Even if he was not able to, he was not ready to tell my parents. So at least we know that, and I know my brother that if anything happened along the line, it wouldn't be him because he was serious.
Yeah.
So once, and then he tries to know, like you communicate with family, but not forcing it. Forcing it is also to me, is also very negative.
Yeah.
A guy who would take your phone and call
your mother,
no, it's like, no, that's a no.
I watched a movie, and I think I like the way that is really what they do here. There's one movie that I watched that the young girl met a guy, and the lady went to seek permission to go out with the guy, and then the parents were like, "When are we seeing the guy?" You know, they really want to see the guy get close to them. I think that is a very good one. But from where we come from, I don't know. But from at least from my experience, people try to hide it as much as possible, which is not good, as you have said.
When I was in secondary school, we lived in Kumasi. I had a male friend who would always come home. At one point, Daddy thought there was something going on between us.
Did you get him from Munche?
No, he wasn't. He was at Kumasi High School. Oh. Kumasi High School, but we met through SU because they came to do a program then, and we lived in the same area. We didn't even know. Yeah. And even when I wasn't home, he would go home. So why did
go home?
You even when I wasn't home, you go home and say hello to my parents.
That's a sign of a very good intention.
But you see, I was too naive then.
Oh, okay.
Too naive. And so that's why I'm saying we need to be very, very careful. And that passed because I was that naive.
Okay. I think these are just a few questions that we have.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? What are your final thoughts that you want to tell my viewers?
Okay. If I have any final thoughts, it will be like this: that we need to be very careful these
Okay.
days, because there are a lot of people who come into our lives with intentions that are not right or pure.
Okay.
And so, especially, and I always want to talk to our young ladies, you need to be very, very careful, because if the relationship does not go the way that it's supposed to go, in the end, yes, the man may be hurt. But because, like I said, especially if you make it sexual, the it doesn't go well for the women. And you need to understand that if pregnancy comes in, it is a girl who's going to be pregnant.
Yeah.
It's not the guy. He can go about his business with no protruding belly. And so girls have to be very, very careful and make sure that they don't put themselves in situations that would, in the end, hurt them.
Make sure you don't put yourself in situations that in the end would hurt you. And I think we have discussed a few other things like, okay, if the man is serious, he's always going to get connected to the family. It should probably centered on a man who is serious, wants to be part of the family, and wants to build a life with you. I hope this is able to help your relationship one way or the other. If you are enjoying it and if you like what you are seeing, I need you to tell us exactly what we should do for you. I'm promising you, we'll always come back with a very good content. See you in the next episode. Bye.